It's Kristian Personal, and I am super excited to show you guys how you can incorporate all kinds of grain, photographic manipulation, and analog textures into your photos using Over. I'm going to be showing you guys how I made one specific piece using Over. And I'm kind of going to go through how I incorporate different kinds of film grain and sort of analog textures into my photos using Over. This is the piece that I created for this. I'm just going to go through how I layer different kinds of textures on top of it, and I add different kinds of graphics and all kinds of things like that. I'm going to start going through. I have this little recording here. I'm going to show you guys how I made this piece. So first of all, I have to import my photo. You can see I chose this photo of my great friend Stella. I'm just going to choose the aspect ratio there and crop it. In the Over app, you have all these different preset aspect ratios that you can use. Specifically there for Instagram, they have a 4:5 aspect ratio that's perfect for posting portraits. So here I'm just zooming in, cropping, making sure the photo is exactly how I like it. As you'll probably see in this, a lot of what I do is I kind of improvise with my art, and then I'm using the sort of size tool to kind of just zoom in and out, make sure I get all the borders out of the image. And so yeah, I'm just going to go in and choose one of the many textures that I've downloaded from Pinterest or that I've made myself, and just kind of layer those into the photo. So first I'm just going to start with this one and kind of make sure it's the right size, the perfect kind of cropping, I guess. And then I'm going to go into the blend tool, which works the same way as any blend tool on other apps like Photoshop. And then you can kind of just choose the blend mode, which is basically how the app will blend the photo into the background. So here I'm just layering on different kinds of grain, different kinds of textures and things that I like. And yeah, here it was a little too intense, so I went into the opacity tool and just kind of brought that down so you see a little bit less of all of that white grain on top. Yep. And so yeah, for me, when I'm creating my art, I kind of, like I said, I kind of either have a very specific idea or emotion I want to convey, or sometimes it's just fun to play around with the app. Part of the reason why I love using Over so much is that it's so easy to use that you can just play around with the app however you want, and you can really just have fun with it. So yeah, I'm just layering on more textures here, cropping them, and then using the blend tool to sort of blend them in. And then I'm also using the adjust tool to kind of increase the contrast of the image so I can see a little bit more of it when it comes into the image when I blend it. Yeah. Sometimes it depends on the image how well the blend tool is going to work. So like here the image, you can't really see it too much, but personally I don't mind. I kind of like just having these very sort of minimal adjustments. And here you can see there are all these graphics that you can find already native in the Over app. So I kind of wanted to add one of those. And sort of a common theme in a lot of my work is that I find it very visually striking to cover somebody's eyes, so I just decided to do that. Wasn't really going for anything serious here, just having fun with the app and seeing what I can make. And using the mask tool to essentially erase all the other lines in the graphic. You just, with your fingers, just readjust it, realign it how you like it. And yeah, I kind of like the ideas of putting some sort of text over the graphic, because you are still very much drawn to the eyes. And I literally looked up what are synonyms for creative, and I just chose vision because I thought it was ironic that I'm covering somebody's physical vision and then putting the word vision on top of it. So I guess you could say it's a little double entendre there. So yeah, and I'm just kind of layering on different kinds of graphics and textures, and seeing how that looks, how that works. Here you can see I basically went on Pinterest, is where I get a lot of my textures, and I kind of just downloaded all the ones I thought looked interesting. You can see I added a filter to the photo to make it, to kind of just change the look a little bit, and then blend it into the photo, adjust contrast, saturation, all that fun stuff. And yeah, just keep playing around, just adding as much as I can, without trying to overdo it too much. I kind of like to add all kinds of just different kinds of text and graphics and little sort of things to the image, and it kind of just adds to the overall look. So I wanted to add one of these little film borders on the side, where it's like the little imprint that you get on this medium format film. So yeah, and then I just kind of adjusted the contrast so that the image is a little bit less bright after I blended it into the photo. So you can see that's basically what I'm doing, just playing around with the saturation, contrast, and things like that, seeing what works best. And yeah, I'm kind of just going with the flow, whatever I feel like works the best. Here I'm just adding these little plus signs just because why not? Like I said, you don't really have to have a very, not everything in your image has to have a lot of meaning. In art, sometimes art can just be fun, and that's all right. I think art should be fun. Here I'm just adding this little paper texture, and I'm kind of waving it around so you can see. I want to get rid of the rest of that image where you can see where it used to be black, this little rectangle, so I used the mask tool to kind of just erase that. Yeah. By the way, guys, if you have questions, you can put it into the little Q&A button down below, and after I'm done with the recording, I'll get to answering your questions. Here I was just adding some more little paper textures and things. Sometimes the blend tool works absolutely perfectly, and then sometimes you kind of have to go and adjust with the opacity tool and kind of change how strong the sort of blend is. So like that's what I did here in this sort of last layer. And you can also see that there's this there is a layer button on the top. See, there are those 4 buttons on the top of the screen in the app, and there's that layer one with the 3 squares. And there you can go and you can see every single layer that you've put into the image. And then here I'm just like going back and forth and adding contrast to every individual layer and looking through what basically just what more I can add to the image time. And I really want to thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you coming in and listening to me going through how I make my artwork. So yeah, I also really want to thank Over for inviting me on to onto this campaign, so I can share with you guys how I make my art, and I can share in general my art with you guys, because I love using the app, and I'm happy to share my techniques. So if you want, you can follow me at Kristian Presnell, and yeah, stay safe, stay indoors, wear a mask if you can, and wash your hands. All right, have a great day. Thanks for coming. Bye.